So as I was saying, when I started in this industry, and I made a decision at 25 years old that this is going to be my career path. At that time, I was working for a big newspaper in Sweden. I was playing soccer in second division. So I was leaving home 7 in the morning, coming back 10 at night. And we're all different, right? We all want different things out of life. But I think when I was 24, something happened in my life that made me really start thinking about maybe a little deeper meaning of life. Because at 24, my best friend took his own life. And my life had been for a couple of years working, soccer, sleep, working, soccer, sleep. And started asking myself, because I was not really happy what I was doing. And I was kind of like, life must be more than this. And I wanted to start my own business. And the business ideas I had, what I was looking at, it took big investments. And back then I had zero in my bank account. So there was there was a fashion brand I wanted to bring to Sweden from Italy. But when we started calculating and we were up to 300K, I realized that, yeah, probably never going to happen. No savings. I have come from a family. My mother grew up with a single mother, was a bartender. Probably no savings there either, right? So at that time, made a decision at January 2009. This is going to be my career path, and I'm very excited for you that are taking a look at this industry today. What I'm going to cover tonight is something unique in this space. If you look up from timing, from offering, and we know, right? Everybody that sells something, they always have the best thing. Everybody, right? So I think you're going to realize in this presentation that what we have here is different based on facts, based on substance and facts and numbers. And that's why looking at Cinzino as a company, as I know and hope you know that it's called. And if we look at, I'm going to start this. If we look at the company Cinzino, Swedish publicly traded company, 20 years on the market. But it's quite new globally. It started 20 years ago in Sweden. And 20 years later, it's a company that's had constant growth year over year over year. And today we deliver products to over 100 countries. And if you're taking a look from a business perspective at a company that you're thinking about maybe partnering up with, what makes Cinzino stand out? I would say facts and numbers, because it's a publicly traded company and it's open numbers. And you can go in and read annual report, and you will see that this company has what? It has 20 years of growth, of course, as I mentioned, but it's profitable, money in the bank, debt free. And that is very important to know, because there's so many companies out there in the direct selling network marketing space, which they just talk about revenue growth, but there's no open numbers, which meaning if there's no open numbers, who know if they're going to be here a couple of years from now? Because there's many who has nice revenue growth, but they're not profitable. And of course, we see many businesses and companies shutting down because they go bankrupt or change the model. So that's very important. But the vision of Cinzino is to become the biggest preventative health company in the world. And today, Cinzino has around 750,000 active customers around the world. And me personally, I've been with this company. It will be actually 10 years in August. And I have 140,000 active customers in around 60 countries that buys the product every month. I'm only talking active customers. So if we look at health, if I sat down with you now, I would ask you, Lisa, what do you do to take care of your health? What do you do to make sure that you will have a better quality of life in the future? And everybody has different kind of levels when it comes to the knowledge. But I think there's one thing we can agree on. What we put in our body makes a difference, right? And me as an athlete all my life, of course, I started reading about health at an early age. And you know what the problem is? If you read a lot in depth, what happens when you put ultra processed food, sugar in your body? What happens is that you don't enjoy it as much anymore. Because if you eat it and you know it really damages your body, can you really enjoy it to that extent? So sometimes ignorance is a bliss, right? But there's so much science out there today. There's even science that has proven that we used to think, oh, it's genetics. Today, science has proven it's up to 90% is epigenetics. 90% is 10% genetics, 90% lifestyle. What do you put in your body? What are you not putting in your body? And are you exercising? And how are you living your life? So if it's true that it's 90% your daily decisions, what to put in your body, what not to put in your body, how to move, maybe it's time to start making small changes so you can have a better quality of life later. But the Cinzino concept and what we do here, I mean, the whole concept comes, why do you need a supplement? At the end of the day, I'm not going to say you need a supplement. I'm a firm believer that it's very hard to get what your body needs from the diet. And if you look at the diet in the past, if you look at fruits, vegetables, what we eat, it used to be full of vitamins, minerals, all important nutrients, omega 3. But if you look at today, because it used to be more food from Mother Nature, right? Today, to a big extent, what we eat is too much man made food, which is low in key nutrients, very high in sugar, empty calories, low in fibers, low in omega 3, too much omega 6. And if we look at the history of, because we have a product that solves a very big issue out there, I would recommend you do your due diligence with ChatGPT. You probably have. Ask ChatGPT after this presentation, why is it so important to have adequate levels in my blood when it comes to omega 3? And what happens in my body if I have too high levels of omega 6? Your body is made to have 1-to-1 ratio of omega 3 and omega 6. Science recommends maximum 3 times more omega 6 than 3. The problem today in US, the average is 25 times more omega 3, no, omega 6 than omega 3. So the average ratio in US is 25-to-1. And this ratio is one of the most important factors when it comes to cellular health. And we know for optimal long-term health, we know that cellular health is fundamental. So if we look at, to keep it easy, this presentation, if you don't remember anything I say tonight, I want you to remember this. This is a cell. If you think about around every cell in your body, there's the cell membrane. When you're too high in omega 6, which you are to 99.5%, that's the statistics in US. 99.5% of the population is too low when it comes to omega 3 in the blood. What happens? The cellular membrane stiffens, becomes harder, and now nutrients from your diet, from supplements, cannot penetrate or enter the cell as effective as it should. Waste products cannot come out as effective as it should. We have a product, we do the blood test, we see what your blood says, not marketing, not a salesperson. We see what your blood says through an independent laboratory. So we take the guesswork out of nutrition, because at the end of the day, if you're taking supplements today, if you're not testing, you're just guessing. So use our products for 4 months. Do a second test. I'll touch more on the test, of course, I'll talk about it. But to 95% chance, people are in balance after using our products for 4 months. Imbalance means what I said, maximum 3 times more omega-6 than omega-3. Again, do your due diligence of the importance of long-term health when it comes to omega-6 and omega-3. And if you look at the difference, as I mentioned, we do a test, a little prick in the finger. Then you put the blood in 2 small circles in a paper, all in the package you get, and then the envelope is there. You seal it, and the address is there. Then you just ship that to that address. This blood test is shipped to an independent laboratory, totally independent laboratory. And this is a laboratory. The official partners of Harvard, Stanford, World Health Organization have used this laboratory. It's not our lab. And you know what? There's few labs in the world that can measure this kind of omega-3 levels in the blood. Because if you go to a normal hospital, if they have the machines they have there, I would say they're almost irrelevant because they only measure, they don't measure inside a red blood cell. What happens then? It's only based on what you ate the last 7 days. Because this lab, Vita's lab that we use, can measure inside a red blood cell, then it's actually based on what you ate the last 120 days. That's why it's so important to use the right kind of lab. And again, I'm not saying you need our product. I say do the test. Let's see what your blood says. Not marketing, not a salesperson. Do the test. I hope you're one of the less than 1% in US that get what you need from the diet. Then even I would say, you know what? Don't buy the supplement. Keep doing what you're doing because you're a 1%er. And that would be amazing if you are. But if you're not, there's a 99% chance. Use a product 4 months, do the second test, and see if we can get you in balance. Now it's over 1.6 million tests. We have the biggest database in the world. And over 99% of Americans fail the test. In Europe, it's over 95%. Middle East, 98%. Look at Asia, 98%. Africa, 99%. So Americans, together with Africa, North America is the worst in the world. So the market here is huge. So we do the test, we see that you have a problem. And if there's a problem, what is the solution? This is our flagship product. It's called Balance Oil. And it's not an omega-3 product, classic omega-3 product. It's a balance oil. We'll balance you up to 95% chance. It's omega-3, vitamin D, and polyphenols. Also, I would recommend polyphenols. Do your due diligence on that as well and check the benefits of getting polyphenols in your body. And if we look at other products we have, we will touch on some of them, but we have something we call Zinzino Health Protocol. And a couple of the most important factors for long-term health, as we know, of course, omega-3, which is you take the balance oil. 2, we boost your immune system with vitamins, minerals, beta-glucans. And then for your gut health, we have a third product, which is prebiotics. It's called Xenobiotic to help your gut stay healthy, contribute to a balanced gut health. And we know a big part of the immune system is in the gut. I take these 3 products every day. And then we also have other products, which is, I would recommend a health protocol, but then I would recommend a product called Viva, which is based on saffron, actually Affron, which comes from saffron, which is kind of a spa for the mind. A lot of science around Affron, and it has kind of similar effect as happy pills, but no side effects. It's natural. Then we have a very good collagen as well. I know many take collagen. Not on the picture yet is something called as well. We have products called OG Strong, Verve that many of you know, which I just drank actually, which I've been a big fan of. It's a product I've started taking back in 2009. So product I'm very excited about. You can check the page, or if you want to know about the supplement OG Strong or Verve, as the person invited you. But if you look at what makes us so unique in Zinzino, and the goal to change global health, we need to get you in balance first. Because if I drink a supplement, but getting my cellular, like I talked about, right? The cell membrane fluidity, if we can make that softer, now you absorb your nutrition from your diet and from your supplements in a totally different way. That's why we start there and do the test. Let's see where you're at. Let's take the guesswork out of your health. We also launched recently a gut health test, which you can read more about on the webpage as well. But I'm a big fan of the Zinzino product. So for me to sell and market these products, very easy. Something I, of course, recommend to my family. My wife is taking it every day. We're giving it, of course, the balance oil to actually the OG Strong product. I mentioned, my daughter calls it Super Juice. We give her OG Strong with balance oil in it every day. So for me to recommend these products, I do it from my heart. I take the health protocol. I take Viva often because I sleep very well with the Viva. If you have somebody with sleeping issues, give them a couple of Viva, or you try it yourself, the Viva, and do some kind of research yourself with that when it comes to that product. Then we have shakes. I take those shakes every day. So, of course, the collagen, also good for gut health and a lot of other things. So, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. So, it's easy to work with products when it comes to that. But if you look again at test-based nutrition, I want you to think about this from a business perspective and the potential out there. We sell something people really want and really need. When I say they want it, 500 million people, 500 million people, 500 million people, they're already taking an omega-3 supplement. And you know what's fun with a blood test? Is that when we find them, we do a blood test, people are already buying omega-3 products. 95% of them fail the test. So I'm not sitting here saying we are better than other products. I'm just saying, if you're on an omega-3 product, do the test and let your blood show you the facts. Because the facts is the facts. So if you're not testing, you're guessing. So, sorry, 97% fail the test, not 95. But the Zinzino goal and the vision is to have 100 million active customers by 2050. And Zinzino passed $300 million in yearly revenue, yearly sales last year, and grew by 50%. The goal is to be $1 billion a year company by 2028. And the long-term goal to be the biggest preventative health company in the world and have 100 million active customers by 2050, I can tell you one thing, it's a big chance that will happen. I've been with this company for a decade, and what I'm seeing from an operational standpoint is so impressive. And again, so transparent. We take the guesswork out of nutrition, publicly traded, 500 million people use it, we're profitable, debt-free. It's a company that is positioned, and I believe destined for greatness. I believe it's the best timing this 100-year-old industry has ever seen. And I'm excited about the future. But if you look at the industry, if you're new to the industry, okay, direct sales, network marketing, what is it? We all know when we hear network marketing, the average person out there, they don't even know what network marketing is. So of course, sometimes there's kind of stigma around it because they don't understand it, or they had somebody that was very unprofessional, over-promising, hyping up, and not doing it the right way. Like in every industry, right? Every industry has professionals and they have unprofessional companies and people in those industries. You can't get away from that, right? But look at direct sales, how it works, and why is there a great opportunity for you to build a business here? Because traditional sales, they go from manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and customer. 2-3 middle steps often, right? Where they have to add up the price and the end customer pays of that Of course. For example, this jacket I bought actually in Sweden in a store, and I paid around $1,000. It's an Italian brand called Tagliatore. The Swedish store, if I paid $1,000 for this jacket to the Swedish store, because it's traditional retail, right? How much do you think they paid Tagliatore for that? I don't know, but I know one thing. I had to pay for part of the rent, part of the salaries of the employees, of course, because you buy it wholesale and then sell it in the store to me, right? And that's often how it is. Direct sales, manufacturer or company, in this case Enzino, satisfied partner or customer recommends or sells the or market the product to somebody. If I sell the product to Lisa, she buys it from the company. The company ships the product directly to Lisa, but I get paid because I linked the customer to the company. And I can create a residual income here. Because if I connect Lisa to the company and she keeps ordering the product, every month she orders the product, I have a little kickback. So the customer base I build is my customer base. Like I mentioned before, I started 9.5 years ago. I have 100,000 active customers. Every month, those 140,000 active customers, that creates a turnover, right, in my business, and I have a certain percentage in income from my business I built. I often say, I build my business within the company, right? And if you look how we make money here, I often call this industry people's franchise. To make it simple, think about, let's say, McDonald's. If you were the founder of McDonald's, you make money two ways once you made a franchise concept out of it, right? First way of income, is you have your physical restaurant. People come to your restaurant, buy hamburgers, you earn money. Second income stream, you make a franchise out of it. So every McDonald's that opens around the world, you have a little percentage of the sales of that store. That's exactly how network marketing and direct sales in this case work, because we make money on customers 10 to 30% on the customer order on my web shop instead of physical stores. And then have a percentage or total turnover, because I can also have other people get their e-commerce. And if they order the starter kit through my webpage, I have a kickback of other web pages store as well. That's what I mean, like a franchise concept, but e-commerce. And what amazed me when I looked at this profession the first time, because when I want to start this fashion brand, as I mentioned, often it costs tens of thousands of dollars. In my case, took over 300,000, so I couldn't even get going with a fashion brand. But here you can start a business for $1,000 down to actually zero, and you get a web shop done in 20 languages, and you ship to over 100 countries. So think about this. You start a business for $1,000, $1,150, down to zero, actually. You get a web shop in 20 languages. You ship, the company ship to over 100 countries. What would that cost you to set up a web page like that with products and everything? Probably much more than 1,000. And here you buy the starter kit, you get your personal web page, and then you market that web page how you want. You build a customer base, and if you want, you can build a team as well. And when you can leverage the sales of other web pages. And if you get started in dollars, it's $1,150 for the ultimate partner kit, down to around, I think, $300 for the basic partner kit. What's the difference of the kits? Bigger discount, you get more of the products, more of the tests. But many start with $1,150. Why? Because that kit has something the other kits doesn't have. And that is a refund campaign. If you start your business today and you start on this kit, if you have 25 personal customer products that get ordered, you're 12 months in business. It's products. Can be like I order for my family 7 products a month. So if you have a customer buying 7 products for the family, that counts as 7 customer points. So if you would have 3.5 like me, 4 customers like me, that counts as 25 products. So you have 25 products sold to personal customers, your 12th month in business, the company give you back the 1150. So imagine starting a business, first of all, so low investment, and then you go out, you make some money, you help people with health. If you have 10 personal customers, you can get every month your product for free that you buy if you buy a product yourself every month. So imagine 3 products, make money, help people with health, and then it's like money in the bank if you're going to do a job, right? Because the 1150 they give you back if you have the 25 personal customer products orders your 12 month in business. So also a big advantage, also sometimes a big disadvantage because that little investment to start a business, many people get started, or I would say they never get started. They buy the starter kit, they never get started because the investment was too little. It's a credit card decision, not a bank decision, right? So because there's so little skin in the game, I see too often people buy the starter kit, they want to get going, but yeah, after Easter, then after Christmas, after my vacation, and they never get going. So what I like with this business, because if you maybe you've seen people try this industry before, and sometimes I hear people say, "Yeah, I have some friends that tried this industry, they didn't make money." And does this business work for everybody? Only if they work. That's the thing. You don't get something for nothing in life. Too many people they buy the starter kit like they buy a lottery ticket and think they're gonna make money. I've worked on every continent in this world. I've helped thousands of people build a business within this industry. So far, I've never seen anybody put in 5-6 hours a week at least, following the system 6 months in a row that didn't make money. Some a couple of $100 a month, some quite significant income I've seen as well and helped. So this business, can anybody succeed? I would say it's kind of like asking the question, can anybody lose weight? If they weigh 30 pounds too much, can anybody lose weight at a gym? I mean, there's quite a big chance, right? If you go to a gym, you talk to a good personal trainer, you exercise like they say, you eat like they say, and you do that for 3 to 6 months, odds are to your favor that you're going to lose some weight. That's what I like with this business. It's an equal playing field. It doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your ethnicity, gender, it doesn't matter. We get paid the same thing per product we sell to a customer. So there's no discrimination, which also is an amazing thing, right? That you can come from whatever background. Like I grew up with a single mother bartender. We never had a lot of money. We never had money. And I saw this business. I made a decision. This is going to be my career path. But I put in the work. I asked the person who got me started, my first mentor. I asked him, what is the skills I need to make money here? What is the skills I need to win in this profession? Because I came in with a mindset that I have to be bad in the beginning, because whatever you want to be good at, you have to do it badly many times and then you become better. And when I saw people who were good at this, they were making good money. And I realized what they were good at was skills anybody can learn. And that's why, can anybody win here? If they put in the effort, you learn the skills, yes. And looking at the company, as I mentioned before, the timing, coming in now at 750,000 customers, the goal is to go to 100 million customers. And there is companies in this industry that's been around for 60 years more, where actually families today have a huge income for a job that was done many decades ago. And Zinzino has a big possibility to stay around for decades. Based on numbers again, right? We sell stuff people want. We sell stuff people need. We're profitable, debt-free, money in the bank. So those check marks are very important if you're going to partner up with a company. But if I sat with you now, Lisa, I would ask you, if you joined us, if you started your own business, why would you do that? What would you want out of this business if you got started? Some people, it's an extra income. For many people, it's an extra income. Then there's people like me. I asked the person from day one, how big can I make it here if I become really good at this? If I'm willing to work really hard, how far can I take it? I'm the kind of person, maybe you are as well, if I can't make it big, I'll do something else. So there's all kinds of people in this industry. We have many, they just want to get customers, and you can build a good income, getting customers, helping people with their health. Some people want extra income, and some people want a career income. Some people want wealth. What is the difference? Can you create that here? The more you want to create, the harder the work, the longer the work. Of course, like everything. You don't buy a lottery ticket here. But the good news is you have so many people in this team that are willing to help you, coach and guide you along the way. But a question often that pops up when a new person starts, that is, Marco, if I start my business today, how quick can I be profitable? Traditional business, often it's years. My wife used to work at Google. Then she had her own startup, the tech industry. And when she started a startup, one, she had to invest much more than it would cost to start Zinzino. Secondly, she worked for free many hours a day, more hours than you do at the job. You know how much she made her first 2 years in her tech company? Zero. She worked for free for 2 years. Then they have a venture capitalist firm coming in investing, and they could start paying out a salary. Here, we can get you profitable first month if you're willing to put in the hours, because step one would be getting your first few customers. So I want you, if you can do this business, do you think you know people who care about the health? If I sat down with you again, you would probably say, of course. Okay, question two. Do you think you know people who wants to make more money, who wants to build a business, or wants to make a residual income? And the answer would probably be yes as well. These are two questions the man I sat down with January 2009 asked me. And I said, I know a lot of people care about the health. I know a lot of people who I believe would be interested in making more money or build a business. So step one, if somebody wants to earn $2,750 on average your first month, it's getting 10 customer products, orders, personal customers, 10 products, and get your two first business partner going. This example is that they buy the 1150 kit, which is normal because that's the only one who has a refund campaign. If you get 10 products amongst your customers and two business partners, and you help your two business partners get their first two business partners, you earn on average $2,750. It's euros here on the slide. So that's possible. So if you started today, we could make a plan how I could help you. If you put in a couple of hours a day or a couple of hours a week, we could do this in 1 to 3, 4 months. Many want to do it in a few weeks. And of course, it takes many more hours per day to do it in 2 weeks. Some want to do it in 30 days, some in 60 days, some in 90 days. But you have up to 120 days to complete all these fast starts to do 10 products, 2 business partners, and help the 2 get 2. And you completed the fast start bonuses, which is very generous bonuses. And then, of course, the business potential. There is a career ladder here as well, of course, like in every company, which you can see often. If you have a friend you haven't met for many years, then they went on studying, and now you meet them 15 years later, and or you go to their LinkedIn, of course, their title is there. whatever they are, CFO, CMO, people are proud of their titles. So of course there's titles here as well, which means you can measure how you can reach a certain level. You can see who's the leaders. And today I'm a global president, and this is a publicly traded company, right? And if you look at, I think it's 16 out of the 25 biggest shareholders, there are distributors on the field. And when you hit president in this company, they give you a bonus of $230,000 in shares, in Zinzino shares, to your share account. Next rank is $350,000 to your share account, and every rank after that is $550,000 to your share account in Zinzino shares. And I started 2009, 2016 with Zinzino, and I remember March 2008, since 18, March 2018, since then the share is up 16, 17 times. And if you believe in the future of Zinzino, if you believe in where they're going, imagine what could happen with a share in the future as well. Of course, there's no guarantee. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've seen what history has given us when it comes to results for this company. And I'm a firm believer that this company is destined for greatness, as I said. And how to reach all levels, ask the person who invited you and what that means and everything. But if you started today, the first thing would be that you would probably want to know is, okay, sounds good. Can I succeed here? Maybe, I don't know yet. Many uncertainties when you see something the first time, but we have a system. And to make you understand what those steps would be, I've summarized them here. And if you started today, Lisa, remember one thing. If you start today and Tom invited you, Tom doesn't need you. It's the opposite. You need Tom to help you, to guide you, to show you the way. And step one would be, Lisa, what do you want out of this? So we can create a plan and look in your calendar when you're going to schedule those X amount of hours you want to put in every week in your new business, next to the job, next to family time. And then next thing is, like whatever business you start, is how do we reach the marketplace? My wife, when she started the startup, she told me after a couple of months, she's like, Marco, to build our company here, it's like building Zinzino. She's like, every day we have to go out and chase business. We have to go out, find investors. We have to go out and try to find customers. I just said, welcome to entrepreneurship, honey. If it's to be, it's up to me. You have to go out and make it happen. Because nothing comes to you just like that without you go creating, right? So whatever business you start, it's always how do I reach the marketplace? If you open a flower store in Austin, step one, when you open a store, you need customers in the store, right? So here, when you get started, after you decided what you want out of this, after we created a plan, would be like, let's create a list. Who's people you want to talk health with, potential customers, and who would be people, if you started a business, who would be the first people you would talk to if you launched a business and you could build something together with your friends? Who would you want with you on that journey? Next step is invite. We have a system for how to invite in an attractive, appealing way. Then we present. And if you're new, Lisa, and I get you started, I'm going to present for your potential customers and partners. And then at the same time I present for them, I'm educating you. I'm going to do that a couple of times so you can learn how to present, how to handle objections. And that's why anybody can succeed here. If you're willing to learn a couple of skills and work, of course. And then we present, what do we send as a follow-up? And then we schedule next event. We have presentations online. We had an event in Scottsdale this past weekend. Our team, we have 200 of the top leaders in our team flying to Dubai. I rented a yacht. We're going to have a nice mastermind on a yacht. And we have a 2-day packed event with high-level leadership development and health development. So we can, as I said, you're going to be part of a team. We're going to work with you, coach you, will guide you, and you can be part of a winning team, winning community that will help you, of course, get the skills you need, but also be surrounded by a winning community. We're seeing good things, doing good people doing good things. It's a great community, and I feel after this profession, I've been full time. In October, it's going to be 17 years I've been full time. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, and I'm super excited where we're going with Zinzino, and I'm excited for you. And I hope you're going to embark on this mission and journey with us towards helping people get in balance, one customer at a time. And if you're willing to work for it, there's basically no limits we can create here. So thank you very much. And whatever questions you have, revert back to the person who invited you and let them know. A, I need more information. Sounds okay, but tell me more about the products, about the business. Or B, let them know, hey, I want to be your customer. I want to do the test. I want to know where I'm at when it comes to my essential fatty acid levels. Or you want a healthy energy drink or not a supplement, let them know that. Or C, let them know that I don't understand everything yet, but you know what? I'm ambitious. I want more out of life. I'm ready to give this a shot. So I hope to see you at one of our live events very soon, and have a fantastic day, evening, and see you very soon. Thank you very much.